Today, some media outlets have released a news report that an advertisement appeared stating that people are needed to participate in the Congress election campaign rally and that they will be paid money and food as a reward, and that the advertisement was decided upon within a short time. Naturally, during an election phase, an important front gives an advertisement to organize people by paying them money without getting people for their campaign programs. It is a pity, and the situation that front is in, and I do not intend to criticize such things now. On the contrary, the UDF is taking its campaign programs forward by spending a huge amount of money not only in any one constituency in Kerala, but also in all parts. A huge amount of money is being spent, including paying daily wages to those who participate in the Jatha or programs. The UDF leadership is trying to turn this election into an election that will pump money like never before. Where will the untold crores come from for this? Crores are being spent every day for election activities. A very interesting piece of news has now come in the form of an advertisement. Offering money to get people to participate in a rally, and then withdrawing the advertisement when it becomes controversial. What we can now understand is that the money collected during the Wayanad disaster, especially these days, is being discussed, and the criticism is being raised that money is being spent on election campaigns. The Wayanad disaster is the biggest disaster in the recent history of Kerala, a huge disaster. It was a huge disaster that made all Malayalis cry. In the blink of an eye, a piece of land disappeared. Hundreds of people were made victims. We witnessed the crushed bodies and body parts floating orphaned in the Chaliarpuja River. Our country was a tragedy that was filled with tears. Even the bodies of many of the victims of that disaster have not been found, only the body parts of some have been found. The entire country was devastated. At that point, many organizations came forward to provide the best service they could. The Congress and the relief organizations tried to collect money using that opportunity. They collected a large amount of money and designed an app specifically for that. The promise was that houses would be provided to those affected by the disaster. We have discussed this many times now. They were not even ready to lift a finger to provide houses. When a lot of criticism arose, finally, just before the elections, without even completing the technical procedures, there is a dispute about whether it is habitable. I am not raising that as an accusation now, and it is said that 3 acres or so of land was purchased. The question of whether that land was enough to provide the houses they promised is all relevant. In any case, the common people must have thought that if something is being done, let it be done. The foundation stone was laid with great celebration. Those who talk about the history of the Congress know that many people did not express any hope that anything would be built on top of it, except for a stone. But the opposition leader had said unequivocally that the construction would be completed in 5 days. I think no one would be under any illusions because everyone knows the value of his words now. But yesterday he said that work has started there. What he is saying is, how can a political leader say this? Some media outlets have reported on the spot. Not only has no work started, but it is also reported that not a single application has been received from the local body seeking permission for the construction of the building. If a building is to be constructed in Kerala, permission must be obtained from the local body as per the building regulations. A written permission must be obtained. In order to obtain permission, a detailed plan must be submitted as per the building regulations. None of this has been done, and the fact that no application has been submitted is proof that there is no intention to construct the building. When asked why there was such a delay, the answer that was repeated yesterday was that we waited thinking that the government would give us land, but the government did not give us land. Who asked the government to provide land for such a project? News reports say that no such demand has been made. When did the government say that if there is such a need, it will give land? The government has not said that it will give land. No one has ever asked for land. They are justifiably raising things that do not exist, finding excuses for the delay, and lying about starting work that has not been started. I did not mean to criticize it here. A great disaster that shook the country, a great disaster that we have never heard of until now, a disaster in which our fellow human beings were killed, a disaster that devastated the entire country, a disaster that left the country in turmoil. To take advantage of that disaster and collect money and steal it. How inhumane is that? In Victor Hugo's novel Les Paupers, there is a character called Thénardier. That character is a character who is portrayed as a symbol of all the cruelty in the world. A human character who does not hesitate to do any vile deed that a human would normally hesitate to do. The way Hugo found to convey the character's vile mind to the readers, and the depth of his vile deeds, is to have warriors who were wounded in battle and killed, go near the dead bodies of the killed men, ensure their death, and then steal whatever they can from the dead bodies, including jewelry and money. The message that the one who steals from dead bodies is the most vile is conveyed to the readers through Sins, which is probably considered one of the first novels translated in Kerala. There will be other novels, but it is still considered one of the earliest novels. When we were student activists as part of the student protests, we had to go to jail as part of false cases filed in our name. I still remember that when we were all student activists in the Kozhikode district jail, the accused in many other cases were there as fellow prisoners. There are people who are pickpockets and who steal marijuana regularly. They have become like that because of circumstances. When I spent a few days in jail with them and talked to them about their experiences, I found that these thieves and pickpockets have their own slang and language. There are specific methods for each theft. We call them pickpocketing. They don't say that. They use a different word for it. We wouldn't understand it if we heard it. I just mentioned it in passing. But one thing I noticed very much is that there are certain morals among them. Morals among thieves. One of the important things is that they will pickpocket, commit various other thefts, rob institutions, and do all these things. But they will not take anything from the body of a dead person lying on the road. Thieves will not steal from an unconscious person. But some scoundrels will do that too. A word used by thieves to describe those who do so is called a corpse weigher. In their vernacular, it is called a corpse weigher. The specialty of a corpse weigher is that if you say that it is a corpse weigher, other thieves will not even be willing to talk to that thief. A corpse weigher is a scoundrel who should be kept away from thieves. Only the most depraved thief, A thief without any morals does this job. The Congress has become a faction that has not even touched the morality of thieves. Today, the Congress is the corpse weighers of Kerala politics. The Congress has become a faction that does not hesitate to collect money from the people by pointing out the dead bodies of Wayanad and stealing that money. That money is now being spent on election campaigns. To pay the Congress rally participants to organize their campaigns. They are selling the tragedy of the poor people of Wayanad, the people who have disappeared, and using that money. What a heinous act this is. Behind the smiling face of the candidate on the posters of UDF candidates all over Kerala, there are the tears of mothers who lost their children. There are the crying faces of children who lost their parents. Behind every campaign board of the Congress, there are the laments of people who lost their lives in the Wayanad disaster. At least the Congress should tell Kerala openly how much money it distributed. It has not been said till now. How much money did you distribute through food organizations instead of through the app? The most important question that arises at this stage of this election is how much money did you collect under the guise of the Wayanad disaster? Just say that number. Why are you hesitant to say it? Why didn't you say it? In which account was that amount deposited? Now, you shouldn't keep a large amount in your hand, you should deposit it in the bank. In which account was it deposited? The opposition leader says that the money was deposited in the joint account of the KPCC president, his, and the opposition leader. It turned out to be a lie. It is clear that the money was not deposited in any account. Now that the affidavit accompanying the nomination paper has become a public document, it is not there, it is a lie. In which account was the money deposited? How much was received? Why are you hesitant to say this? Isn't Wayanad the money collected from the people? Wasn't it collected on the pretext of helping the disaster victims? The Congress should be ready to openly reveal how much money was collected from the public for public needs and in which account. The election campaign using that money should be stopped. It is a challenge to the dead and the living. It is a challenge to the entire people of Kerala. Therefore, what I want to say is that the Congress leadership should be ready to answer this matter. Let me tell you, do you have anything to say about this? At the same time, they are asking another question that they are asking themselves. What I am still asking is this. People have received crores of rupees for so many years, but that too has not been spent on the disaster relief of Wayanad. Most importantly, not a single house that has been constructed and inaugurated has yet become habitable, which is a fair. No. Everyone is welcome to respond to any criticism. What the Wayanad government is doing is not just building houses, it is also a township. There will be houses, clinics, libraries, Angawadas, other facilities, roads, shops, everything. In a sense, a village is being built. The activities that are part of it are moving forward. The first phase of it has now been inaugurated. It is habitable. It has been visited by all the big personalities who accept Malayalam. You must have all been there. Not everyone has moved, it is just that they will move in the coming days. Now the government is paying for the rent of the house for such people to live in. There is no point in saying anything like that. It is all crystal clear and generous in front of the people. Things will go their own way. Why are you hesitant to say this? Why are you hesitant to say this? Now, how much money was withdrawn from it? In which bank it was deposited? In which account it was deposited? When you say account, the bank also comes. Why is it so reluctant to say that? One more thing needs to be mentioned. Journalists and the media will have political opinions and stances. We cannot say that it should not be. Our opinion is that it should be. But no one should take a stance that encourages such crimes. The reason I am saying this is because of something that came to my attention the other day. When I heard a journalist on a television channel justifying this, I was very surprised. He is saying that the information of the CMDRF was not included with the Chief Minister's nomination paper. Any Malayali will be shocked. When he says the Chief Minister's Relief Fund, did he mean a bank account in the name of the Chief Minister? Is that how he is saying it? When he says the money in the state treasury, did he mean an account in a bank in the name of the finance minister? Can we say something like this? Not only this, but many such things are happening now. Now, when it was said that a lamp was lit in front of Golwalker's picture, a journalist said, "So, the lamp was not lit in front of the picture, but there was a picture behind the lit lamp." Can I say this? I do not mean to criticize anyone. But when I hear all this, let alone these people, they could not do it, even in their lineage. People who see this will feel that there is no possibility of anyone becoming a journalist. You can say anything, you can express your opinions. But how small is it when you say things like this? How much will the respect of the people for the media work decrease? In fact, all these people are not journalists. If anyone suspects that they are working against the media work, as part of some kind of conspiracy to undermine and degrade the dignity of the media work, I think we cannot blame those who suspect that. I just said it in passing. In any case, we can rest assured that there are not many such people. Some people, some pages on Facebook, have been reporting it constantly in order to spread it. There is a correction in the very first word of your question. The fact that he is lying is not an accusation, it is a fact. It is sad that it has to be said like that. Normally, if you say the leader of the opposition or the chief minister, they are high positions in a democracy. Those who perform such positions are usually respected. But why does a person who holds such a position always say baseless things? Let's say that, I am expressing my respect for him. Why do you say that? Isn't that a problem? Didn't you say yesterday that the construction of the Wayanad house started? Didn't you all hear? Did it start? Why do you say that? I think that he has reached a situation, a state where he cannot tell the truth even by mistake. So, I see that some people in the new media have started such a page to expose such things to the people. I don't know who started it. I think that some young people who are truth seekers or those who are involved in the new media must be doing so. If you know who it is and what is working behind it, please tell me. For nothing else, I want to congratulate them. Because, standing up for the truth and exposing the untruth. It is a social service of these times that if anyone in any position constantly tells a lie, it should be exposed. But, what is the approach taken towards it? If someone is spreading something wrong to defame or criticize him, none of us will support it. No one in our country has the right to personally insult, belittle him, or spread slander. None of that will be supported, it will be opposed. But, as I understand it, on this page, these baseless things and facts that he says are being brought before the people, shown. A journalist or activist or something asks him about it in an interview. So what was his answer? He said that he was happy with all of it. It is my PR, and he is accusing the CPM of doing this, and he is saying, it is his PR work, and among more people, I don't know what PR it is. As if he enjoys such things, as if he welcomes them, he said that he likes them and that they are good. That person then files a complaint and closes all this. So what did he say? It is something that comes from the list mentioned earlier. This is what the center is doing as well. I can only say that ending even the honest things that are not pleasing to them and are exposed to them through such a shortcut is a matter that has no trace of democracy.
Apart from participating in the program, the AMI leader is demanding that he participate in the programs without any interruption. In 2001 and 2006, RSS leaders came there in many rooms and gave their help. That is not what he is denying.
I do not accept the allegations of the person you mentioned. The allegations he raises are his allegations. We have never accepted a position of accepting all the allegations raised by anyone. But we have all said the issue of the program mentioned earlier regarding the opposition leader. But look at one thing, the person who said that he did not participate in such a program is now saying that he went for a debate. He is saying that he went to inaugurate the debate. Even then, a journalist is saying, isn't that normal? Isn't it that everyone calls here and there for the debate? Is it true? Which leaders of democratic parties usually participate in RSS debates? Or which debates are held by democratic parties and RSS leaders are invited? Don't we all live in Kerala? Let alone all that, when the Kannur Party Congress was being held, Professor K.V. Thomas Mache, who was the leader of the Congress at that time, invited him to the seminar. The opposition leader is now reminding us of that. But what was the Congress's response? Didn't the Congress react as if there was a third world war? Didn't he become unpopular? With that single program, the door to his unpopularity in the Congress was opened, isn't it true? So what is the reason for those who take the position that they should not participate in the CPI-M seminar to participate in the RSS program? Isn't that what we should say? So, we are not surprised that the Congress took such an action to give legitimacy to the RSS. What is the reason? Benwarilal Purohit, who was previously Rajiv Gandhi's emissary and Nagpur MP, met the RSS's Sarsangakalak as part of the communication between them. Then he requested RSS's support in the 1989 elections. In return, he said that permission would be given for the foundation stone-laying ceremony. All this is information that has come out before the country. So when I met you, who are RSS members, I had said that the experience of Kerala since the 1960s. There are many examples of that in history. In the meantime, I just reminded you of one more thing. What we have come here now is a continuation of that. In this regard, we have already said that we have been guarding the RSS branch, and there is no doubt about it. All this is very clear and evident before the people. What I have not mentioned one by one is that there are many facts before us. Just the other day, I saw that a youth organization, DYFI, had organized a walk, an investigation walk. I have not built a house after laying the foundation stone. After a while, I will have to go to Wayanad. I will have to make this journey. So, collect money and not use it for the purpose for which it was collected. This is the style of the Congress. Now, where is the money collected for the memorials of K.A. Damodaram Menon, Leela Damodaram Menon, Pananpilli Govinda Menon, and finally Shri K. Karunakaran? Many leaders in the Congress have asked at various times. Now Shri K. Karunakaran is the last leader in this list who left us. If my memory serves me right, funds were collected 4 times to build a memorial for him. Was there a memorial somewhere? So this is the usual practice. I am not making any allegations about it now, I am not making any criticism, but Wayanad is not like that. There are many more in Wayanad, the people who were killed in Wayanad now, the people who were killed in that tragedy, how heartbreaking it is. Having to receive and bury the remains of the dead body, take and preserve DNA samples, and compare them with skeletal remains in the future if they are found somewhere. Isn't that a tragedy we have never experienced before? What a tragedy. Saying that and spreading money, if you collect money from a dead body and use that money for election expenses, if that money goes into the pockets of many, then the existence of all of us Keralites as human beings is being questioned. On what basis is that allegation being used? Enough said. I will withdraw this allegation. You should say exactly how much money was collected and say exactly. There are many reasons behind not saying that. That is why you should say that it has been deposited in your account today. If you say those things, I will tell you what is the basis for my allegation. This money being given is stained with the blood of the people who were affected by the disaster that has buried us in Wayanad. That currency is stained with blood. That is why that money is being spent. It is our conviction that yes, that money is being used in the elections. In relation to this election, for the Congress, the reason is that the National Congress leaders said that we do not have the money to spend, including the local bodies. After that, now when the government is leading in various ways, Priyanka, but also on various online platforms, including the UDF, and on the channels, where is that same thing I said? When we said local elections, we did not spend this money. For those who said we do not have money, just say, did you win the Onam bumper lottery? Well, the money we are spending is the lottery. Now, we are testing whether this money can be used to sabotage the elections by spending a large amount of money in Kerala. Have you ever seen any of you publicly advertising like this before? Have we ever seen any of us advertising to say that we can pay for a political party to participate in their public program in Kerala? These are things that Kerala is not used to, methods that are not familiar to Kerala. The election campaign in Kerala is being drowned in money. It is a challenge. 2. Democracy. We have been hearing about it for a long time. Money is being brought from all over. Many people are also critical of the presence of people from other states who are handling this money. I think that in the coming days, the media workers in Kerala will be able to find out where there are people who are interfering in such a way in our Kerala. They are unfamiliar faces here. I hope that there are people from other states who have come with this intention. It is not some big well-known leaders who do such things. The people in your group know. They themselves have some information about these things. Perhaps, I hope that they will be able to release more information about it to you in the coming days. An important update is related to the important news that the SDP supports the CPM. Why can't the CPM say that we don't want the votes of the SDPI? Such a question is completely irrelevant for many reasons. The first reason is that for decades in Kerala, the party called LDF and CPM, which is led by the CPM, have a policy, a declared policy, that we don't want the votes of communalists, no matter what color the communalism is. That policy is that we don't want the votes of communalists. We, people like you, ask and say that in every election. The first reason is a policy that continues. Second, the General Secretary of the CPI-M. The General Secretary is the highest leader of the CPI-M, organizationally, and in response to this question, he said the other day, we have no move, no understanding with them, this is just a myth, it is nonsense. He has said it correctly. If the General Secretary says one thing, no one else can say anything beyond that. There is no other opinion in the CPI-M left. Third, the first reason, I understand that the organization you asked about here nominated a candidate to contest in the Manjuswaram constituency. Now I hear that it has withdrawn, you have reported it. The reason for withdrawing from the contest is as part of the demand, as part of the pressure, as reported in the news. Let me ask you, if a group of people who freeze the nomination given to them at the request of the Muslim League leadership and withdraw from the contest, if they have a deal, with whom is it? This question is not a question to be raised here. You should raise this question to the UDF leadership. The nomination has been frozen as per your request, so what is the deal between you? Isn't this a question to be asked there? I consider this as a question asked from another place. We have not had any concerns here in this regard. You know, I am a person who contested as a candidate in an election about 7 or 8 months ago. At that time, you came to me with this question. I have answered in a way that leaves no doubt, with a single word or letter. And what I want to request you is that every time you come and ask us like this, going to every constituency and asking our candidate like this, it is inappropriate. That is our permanent position on this matter, and we are still saying it. There is no need to say it every day. The All India Secretary said it yesterday. If that is not enough, I am saying it now, there is no move, no understanding. We have said it as a part of our firm stance on these people, just like yesterday, and we have no connection with them. Isn't that enough? Often, the leaders who said that we don't want Jamaat-e-Islami's votes back then. Now, naturally, the question to other leaders, like they say that we don't want Jamaat-e-Islami's votes in the elections, is not being said about it. It is not like that. Each person will speak in a different style, right? They will speak in a different style. Then, when completely baseless and agenda-driven questions come up, many people will respond accordingly. Didn't I just say that this question is really, what else can I say, an inappropriate, untimely, and unnecessary question? Why is this question not the question to be asked here? Now if I say this only, you will say, after this, you will say that it has moved away, has run away, has changed. What can we say to avoid saying that? I have only responded to a unique way of media work in contemporary Kerala. That is where you should ask this question. Every question about the deal, every question related to business is a question that is related to the right wing. They are the people of this. We are not the people of this. That is all. But then we can end it today, okay?